I started Genius Games because I love two things, learning and having fun. And I thought, why not do both at the same time? I was born and raised in St. Louis. I left home at 17 to join the military. I excelled quickly in the military, but I knew I wanted to go back to school. So I went to St. Louis Community College. I was asked to give the commencement speech in 2007, and then I received the Elizabeth Gray Danforth Scholarship, which is a 2-year full tuition scholarship to Washington University that's only given out to 2 students each year. When I got to WashU, I fell in love with the sciences. I knew this is what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. I was passionate about it. I got my master's degree in engineering at WashU, and then I moved on to teach chemistry at St. Louis Community College. American students were once pioneers in the fields of science and mathematics and STEM subjects, but right now, the United States is ranked 52nd globally. And when I started teaching chemistry, I noticed something really interesting. Students already had an aversion to chemistry before they even came into the classroom. Now this was interesting because they hadn't started learning the concepts yet, and I know they were complex and tough, but the aversion was more to the idea of chemistry. They were scared to even start learning. So I wanted to think of ways to provide a comfortable platform and atmosphere for students to engage into the material of chemistry and actually learn the content. And I thought, why not make a game that teaches chemistry? The average American student spends 2 hours a day playing digital and tabletop games. I think it's obvious that students have been dodging their science and math curriculum for the world of gameplay. So there are a number of educational games on the market devoted to the subject of science. But I think there's 2 major flaws with a lot of those games. Number one, they were made by educators with little game design experience. And so they're really not much more than a lesson plan crammed into a game or basic trivia cards. And the second problem is that a lot of the educational games that are out there were made by game designers, which is good because they have good graphics and they have quality game mechanics. It's hard to justify using them in a classroom because they're pretty scarce on actual educational content. I think Genius Games has a number of advantages to our competitors. We design games around specific science principles, and in this way, learning is almost an unnoticeable but necessary consequence of playing the game. And second, we bring game designers and educators to the table. In this way, we design a game that is both fun and enjoyable, but also adds educational value to the players. Right now, we're focusing on board games because we see that a lot of students are already deeply engaged in digital platforms. What we want to do is bring students around a board game that promotes social engagement and interaction about a topic in the sciences. But in the future, we want to move into digital platforms and even gamified lesson plans.